Okay. Welcome again to another Sports Globe Live Sports Pulse Sunday this evening. Of course, we're trying to make this one be a 1 hour show. We're not going to go longer than that at all. It's going to definitely be a 1 hour show. So we're going to be out of here by 7 o'clock, people. So anyway, listen, it's all about basketball and World Cup football. You know that we in Canada, it's always going to be the basketball and the football. We have some special people with us as well. I think we have, one of Canada big basketball coaches, and maybe he's a player too. We're going to find out later on to see what is he made of and what is his expectation for the playoffs. So we're going to be talking a little bit of playoffs because it's too zip for New York right now. Wait, what the Spurs gonna do? Who knows? But let's hear our resident basketball coach. Let's hear what he has to say. And we have our sports fan as well online with us. Talk some World Cup football along with us. George Pee Wee Smith. Just want to get them in there. And of course, I can't leave out the big man, the big Olympian from Grenada, Rudy Ann. Hey, Rudy, welcome to the show as we welcome our two other guests to the platform as well. Hopefully, George can jump back in pretty soon. So, Andre, welcome to our show. Thank you so much for jumping in.
Thank you. I appreciate the invite. Good
Yeah,
evening,
man.
everyone. Yes.
Of course. And let me just, where is George? Yeah, let me just see if I get George in there as well. I'm not seeing George yet, but hopefully George will jump back here with us. I have Rudy. Yeah, George look like I'm going to come back. But yeah, man, so let's get started, people. So, Andre, as I said, welcome. Rudy, welcome. Thanks so much to Sports Globe. And we have this program that we call Sports Pulse Sunday. It's our live show, different from the video one. Where we should I start, Rudy? We have a little bit of discussion, Andre, in terms of some news items that we always start with that. Because, a lot of things happen in the news in the course of the week. So we have a little chit-chat about that. And we're going to be doing that pretty quickly. We'll move through pretty quickly with it. Let's welcome George.
Yes, coach. But I'm not seeing myself. What's going on?
I'm not seeing you at all. You're not on the video.
Camera on?
Right, hold on.
Yeah. I hear you, but you're not on the video. All right, as George fix up himself. So, Rudy, what are some of the big news? Because I know you want to talk about Serena Williams coming back. Who else coming back from retirement? But that was the big one of the week.
Certainly, man, and it's good to be on again. Sports Pulse on a Sunday. Certainly good to be on. And just coming back from high school championship over the past 3 days here in Ontario. Certainly it was a blast and it went well. But big news, big things in the news today, and from the past week that Serena Williams is coming out from retirement. And it seems like it's a trend now. Those are great athletes. We've seen it in the past where Allyson Felix, the most decorated track and field athlete, also come out from retirement. With the hope to making a team. I'm pretty sure it's for the next Olympic game because it's in the United States. But seeing Serena Williams coming back, you try to sit back. It's not money, but do those athletes miss the sport? Do they miss the excitement? That's why they want to come back. And is it a new thing now where we're going to see other athletes who retired coming back into the sport because they're probably just bored? And nothing else will make you come back, or then you're bored because the training you have to go through is not easy, especially in track and field with Allyson Felix running a 400. It's not an easy thing.
No. Hey, Andre, when you hear that,
yeah, what do you think, Andre?
What you think about Serena coming back in tennis? I know you might not follow tennis, but you must hear the news.
Yeah. You know what? I actually haven't heard the news, but as you mentioned, athletes do come back all the time, and for Serena, we know for sure it's not about money, so it's probably about the competitiveness, probably about legacy as well, trying to maybe catch a record or two. But I do know she's pretty much the most decorated tennis player of all time across both men and women. So it is interesting to see why or what the motive is to come back and whether or not she's going to be able to perform at her level. Because towards the end, some names that shouldn't really have been beating her was beating her, and that's what prompted the retirement. So I kind of like when they leave out on top, as opposed to doing the swan song and some people getting W's over them that may not be at their level.
It means that
but it's not.
when they
But
reach
at the
at the
same,
top of the game, they need to retire and leave. But the big thing, Rudy, for me, with Serena coming back, is the amount of weight that Serena lose to come back. That's a big thing. I mean, on this drug thing, this weight loss product, you know, that she take to come back, she did kind of look anemic to me when I see her taking that thing. So, but hey, listen, I see her today on a video that she posts, and she was looking much better. It looks like the body starting to now take shape, and she start to do. Of course, she's been into this exercise routine and things, so she really start looking even much better now. So, hey, listen, but hey, that's how it go. But Allyson Felix coming back after having 2 babies, yeah, that's another big one. But hey, but Andre, in terms of the biggest basketball player that retired and came back, was that Michael Jordan? That's the biggest name that retired and came back?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Michael Jordan. He did it multiple times, right?
Yep.
He did it in Chicago, and then he came back for the Wizards. But he was always able to perform at a high level. Jordan is Jordan, right?
Yeah.
And also, when he came back, interesting, at the Wizards, he actually was able to perform. So he was able to average 20 points per game actually in his 40-year-old season. And the only other person that's performing that good or better at that age is the great LeBron James, who's currently playing. So
you just said it great. You just said it great.
One of the great. I mean, our barbershop talks. We won't even go there, right? So I'll say one of the greats. One of the greats.
One of the greats.
No, certainly, and you give credit where credit due, and I always say that to people. I mean, how do you measure the greatest? Is it by the performance, the title? And when it comes to basketball, it's hard to. We go by on title. Tom Brady title, like it's not necessarily stats. Title. So how do you define the greatest? But certainly, listen, LeBron get his kudos. He's certainly one of the greatest. I don't see an All-Star team without him, even though I would not pick him on my All-Star team. But certainly, an All-Star team, a lot of people will have him on his team. But for me, putting a team
together, he should retire this season, or you think he should just continue another 2 seasons?
The thing is with LeBron, he's still performing at a high level, as we mentioned, right?
But you don't want to see him go out on the losing side and a low level.
No. But I'm more so saying, and one of his goals were, he mentioned it years upon years ago when his son was still in grade 9. His goal was to play with his son, and he's 2 years in to play with his son.
Of course.
So I'm saying maybe a year or 2. Yeah. Maybe a year or 2. Yeah.
But he have another son. Is he trying to wait for his other son to make it in the league?
That one he's just finished his first year of university. His trajectory is not quite like his brother's. It's a slower trajectory for him. So maybe he's trying to wait for him. Who knows? But he's gone back to university this year. But his Bronny Jr. actually just did 1 year of university, which was more like a half year because he was injured in the first half.
Yeah. All right, Rudy, Diamond League happened as well during the week. Noah coming out, winning, running 9.88. What's your feeling on that? How you see him? How him look? What happened?
Well, listen, everybody looks good right now. The season just coming on. It looks good. It's how you maintain it throughout the season. That's just how I see something. You might come out hot, come out good.
Start with the second fastest time for the season so far, Rudy.
Yeah, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it will end that way. You could start out hot and then you could just go downhill. So like I said, I always give the credit where credit due to athletes when they're doing performing. It doesn't mean that they are my
Yeah.
They are my favorite athletes. But certainly I give credit where credit due. But to see that kind of performance early in the season, yes, I certainly have to say, kudos to him on that. Yeah.
But the Americans came out at the meet. George, I see you trying to come in, but hey, we take you as you are, George. Don't worry about it at all. What's going on? How are you?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yes,
Nice. Nice
Good
to be
evening.
here.
Yeah,
I
man.
just can't get that X off my camera.
Oh,
X
well, I
won't
don't
come
know.
off.
We'll go and work with it as it is, Georgie. We know you.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Continue.
Yeah, Rudy, as you were saying. But, Rudy, this is where the Americans start to come out, So the big guns come out last week. So you know that, right?
No, yes, and I, like I said, we have seen great athletes, and I'm not really fussy about the year because to me there is not much happening this year. It's not a world championship year, but also people want to get the qualifying standards. As you see, the standards have changed. So definitely you see an athlete will be performing to the level of making the world standard because I think the time period is now, so they can run now. And then later on, they might be down, injuries and those different type of things. So
hey, yo, the big guns, Jefferson come out and she run second. How you feel about that?
Yes,
How
she did.
look?
Yes, she did.
She
looks
St.
good.
Lucia
But
girls.
Alfred looked very strong and very smooth, very composed. She was very, she controlled the race,
Yeah.
and like she was in the outside lane, and she tell herself Jefferson cannot catch me. So Jefferson first meet, for the season, as well. So it was certainly they look good. They certainly look good. It's good to see Jefferson, to open up, but it seemed like everybody want to go for the 200 meters as one athlete come out and doing well. Everybody else want to jump on the bandwagon. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
It's the way to start, man. They don't want to jump into the 200 meters right away. They just want to get into, into the 100 right away. They want to get the 200, see how strong they are and thing. But Jefferson promised though, she promised after that race she promised that she's going to be at her best this season. So, the game's coming up in September, which is the Ultimate Championships that's coming up. She's going to be firing. So,
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But it's going to be a big clash.
And it's going to be and the ultimate challenge is not country.
It's individuals. Yeah.
It's individuals. So we might end up seeing all 11 Jamaican athletes in there. They all run. We might end up seeing all of them. A part of that based on how they're performing. So definitely I'm excited. To see what.
Andre, you don't watch track and field at all.
Not really. Maybe Olympic times and maybe on a youth level because my daughter does it. But
you must start to follow the thing, man.
Yeah, that's why I said so. I'm listening intently so I can start following. I may become a track dad.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Hey Georgie, you follow any other track and field news at all?
Yes, I see. Gabby put on about 21:70.
Oh yeah, Georgie, that one was bad. Yeah.
World leading time, and she look easy.
And she looked smooth, quite smooth. And she coming off injuries, So just remember that she coming off a long injury as well. So for her to look the way she look, hey, this ultimate challenge coming up in September, Rudy, as you say, is going to be massive. It's going to be big. They need to just pay some big money to the athletes. That's what I say.
Right, because she also took part in Michael
Johnson,
thing, right, and some money thing never get
never
money.
Get no pay. Yeah.
But I love how she look. She looks slim and trim. She have a lot of muscle. And she does look good.
She ready for this.
So she always
She always look good. She always look ready. When you're looking at her, she's always a threat in the wall in the 200. So it's not surprising to me. She come out hot. She never end well in the past few years, but the startup is really.
Hey, listen, Rudy. The big conversation is Rudy. The big conversation is this year being an off year, is it a year that these guys, based on how they're running the 200 meters thus far, right? Shericka come out blazing and says she's ready, right? I don't even know if Alice is going to jump into the pool too, and she might just do so, right? That's an off year. Is it now, based on the fact that it's an off year, that these athletes might just give it a shot for the world record?
No.
Rudy said, no, George, what do you think? You think they might just give it a shot for it?
Well, they can risk it, but in terms of they're going to be gradual. I don't think anybody is rushing it. They're just going to just build the momentum. But based on the times that I'm seeing, the times look very impressive because if they're running 21:17 now, so early in the season, you know, that in itself is going to spark competition.
Yeah.
You know?
But right, the only thing, Judge, the only thing about that too, we're missing out. Don't forget the college athletes who is running very well. We just definitely have Hobbs. She's running really fast. So you know, there are some college athletes we have to look out for. Not necessarily this year, but next year they might just go straight into pro. They might just, you know, stay that year or two or 3 years in college and then go straight into pro. And they could be that threat too, especially when it comes to the 200. So definitely, if we've seen it in the 400, definitely, you know, that can happen.
Big things are gonna happen, Rude. But here, Andre want to talk about the basketball, you know, because he have some burning issue. I don't know if he's a New York man or he's a Spurs man, but I think he has to leave us a little early still. But Andre, listen, Spurs or New York, we want to get that from you and get it out of the way from now. What you say?
Well, we're already 2-0 New York, so it's kind of a question that we're asking. So, from the looks of it, the first two games look like New York's gonna take it.
So what you say? You're a New York man or you're a Spurs man? Are you this none of your team?
I'll tell you how I do. Raptors are my team, and I follow LeBron James. And then other than that, as we could tell from our earlier convo, other than that, I'm able to look at it and just like enjoy the basketball and really take a look at it objectively.
George, you know New York, you know what the vibes like in the city?
Oh, New York's about to break.
Yeah, the vibes is up. The vibes is way up, but I don't really follow basketball.
Okay, but you know, go downtown, go see no one going to the city.
Yeah, man. When you go down into the city, Times Square, Manhattan, place crazy.
The place crazy.
Yeah, man, the place crazy.
But this game,
how much the ticket is? Yeah. Hey, so Andre, tell us now, what's the big thing to look out for tomorrow night? Because tomorrow night on the 3rd, do you think New York going to take it, or is that Spurs going to just bring back the
tonight? Tonight, not tomorrow night. Tonight,
yeah.
No, I think game 3 is tomorrow, Monday, on a travel day. Yeah, but what? So in basketball, it's never happened a 3-0 comeback. It's happened in others. It's happened in other sports, hockey, baseball, but it's never happened in basketball. So you know, the Spurs are gonna come out. They're gonna be really desperate to win, and then Wemby. So I'm thinking that they're probably gonna take game. They're gonna take game 3, the Spurs. And then New York's gonna take game 4, and then they'll be up 3-1, and then it's kind of murder she wrote from there. But if you're asking me what's gonna happen tomorrow, I think we're gonna see a glimpse of how great Wemby is, and he's gonna kind of impose his will on the game, and it'll be a 2-1 series for New York.
Yeah, because his last game he made 2 mistakes. I think that cost them that game. New York was a little bit lucky, don't you think?
Yes. That was a big turnover. I believe you're alluding to the turnover where he passed. To Stephon Castle, yeah. The thing is, the New York Knicks have had a lot of long playoff runs. They have a lot more veterans on their team. Karl Anthony Towns has been an NBA All-Star for quite a while. Jalen Brunson as well. So they kind of have been tried, true, and tested. Spurs are a really young team, so it's good that they've made it here. This is like Wemby's 2nd or 3rd year. It's slipping me, but we know that the playoff experience is kind of showing right now.
Yeah. So you think Wemby will be able to, because he's really carrying the Spurs a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and he has been imposing his will on the team for sure. But You really think the Spurs can even get close to getting the win?
Yes, the thing is they have some good supporting cast. So Stephon Castle, he
Yeah.
was a rookie of the year prior. We have Ron Harper Jr. So he was a second pick in the draft as well, just last year. So they have some really good rookies. So and young guys. So I want them to do well. So I'm saying that hey, I think they'll be able to take one game if they get to hit their shots, things like that, and then we can see how the series goes.
What is it about? What is it about New York? Because the fourth quarter is when their games start to move. Seriously, they start to score a lot of their things that they've been missing, shots that they've been missing for, you know, in the fourth quarter is when they really
Yeah.
start to sinking those balls. What is it about the team that gets them on fire? Because the two games that they have won it from the fourth round.
So Jalen Brunson actually last year won the NBA Clutch Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of fourth quarter points, he's probably of all time. He's NBA playoff leaders. So he's been historically a really good fourth quarter clutch
Yeah.
performer, and being the leader of the team, I think the team kind of just takes the identity of their leader, and
Yeah.
that's why you see them perform at that level. But it's really led by Jalen Brunson, who performs really well in the fourth quarter.
Okay, fantastic. Hey, Sports Glove fans, chime in and tell us who you think is going to win this NBA Finals. Is it going to be the Knicks keeping up the run, or can they win a game 3, or can they not win a game 3, or can the Spurs rally back tomorrow night and come back with a big win? As you know, they can really score big points and, you know, over 110, 120, who knows, right? But let us know. So chime in and let us know. I know you're listening out there, so let us know what you think. So I said New York. I don't know what
Yeah,
Rudy
okay.
said. Rudy, what you
No. Listen. I think first game going to New York. New York will win that first game. And yeah. They may lose the game 4 May. But certainly I think they'll win the game tomorrow.
You think it?
I listen to a lot of analysts, a lot of people speak about the sport for years. We're talking about going way back, talk about young players. Listen, this is the NBA. Ain't no young at all. If you're not in it, you're not ready. Listen, when you get once you get put in, and that's the thing. When you talk about college, when you go into college, there is no freshman against fresh. No, you in it with everybody.
Yeah.
There is no separation. And it's the same thing when you get to the NBA. When you get there, there's no separation. Everybody is into it. We have seen rookie players do phenomenal. And we have seen players who've been there for a long time not performing like they should. So I just think it's in one. I don't listen to make it that far. You can't call yourself young or rookie. There's nothing like that. You make it to the NBA. There's no young or rookie. You listen. You beat the best team in the league last year.
Yeah.
In a game 7.
Last round, luck, yeah.
Because they listen, and that wasn't a luck thing. It was not luck. You know, I think New York changed their mindset changed after they lost to Detroit.
Yeah.
Not in the regular season. And I think that's when the change coming because they got blast on social media. You know, they got blast on social media. And I think that changed them to the level where they're at now. And I'm saying when you see that now, when you see that they can sweep that team. They can do something that never been done before and sweep that team. But surely the championship is going to be in New York, the Mecca, and something is going to get destroyed. People is going to come all over. People are going to mash up New York. They're going to have the most people, and especially tomorrow's game, they don't have the the people watching the fan no more because Donald Trump is at the game. So they get rid of that. Everything is blocked off. Then there is no watch party at Madison Square Garden. None of that is going on. There is no watch party down there because of Donald Trump is in town. Everything have been caged up already right now. Roads been closed. Everything been blocked off right now. But like I had listened to an interview and the woman said, "We are New Yorkers. We'll find a way to get together."
Of course.
So it doesn't matter where, they'll find a way. So, but New York win this championship. I think New York is going to be mashed up. They're going to destroy New York. They're going to be so excited, but well deserved. Like I said, it's been what, almost 50 years or so they haven't won a title. It's been 27 years they haven't been in the finals.
It's a Jalen Brunson. It's a Jalen Brunson
yeah.
and Wemby. Jalen Brunson and Wemby show. So it's a big thing. But hey, listen. You know what I learned is that Jalen Brunson is a Jamaican that might come out of me. You know? So you know the Jamaicans that have to find all of the Jamaican-ness that is into the finals right now. So quite a bit of Jamaicans playing on both teams right now. Jalen Brunson, as we hear, Jamaican background. Who knows? Everybody in Jamaica talking about him, asking him to come and play for the Jamaicans. And if the Jamaican team put together their NBA stars that is playing right now, it could be a really formidable NBA team. But it's another discussion to discuss that. But hey, listen, Andre, we appreciate you stopping in. Is there anything else that you want to tell us in regards to the game tomorrow and the rest
let me ask Andre a question before you stop. Andre, we have seen the trend. We have seen the trend in the NBA where teams don't win back to back as much anymore, and we see how they started. But when it comes to playoffs, when I watch, and the defending championship team, and I seen everything that they put together, and I saw MVP. He won the MVP, then he buy gifts for the guys. I said, man, you're not focused. You guys not ready. Listen, do that after. Do that after. You stay focused. That's me, I just look at that. But we don't see teams go back to back anymore. I think the last back to back for the Golden State Warriors. I don't think we really had a back to back, unless
the last Golden State. Yeah, the last was Golden State.
Yeah,
they won back to back.
Do you see? And because then we come back and we look at the Spurs and they say they're a young team, and we'll see how teams put piece together and put teams together. Yeah. Do we see that anymore? Do you think that there will be back-to-back championships happening because now again people buy players and players move around and do this kind of things? How do you see the game happening moving forward in terms of the trades and teams winning back-to-back titles?
That's a really good question. So the commissioner, Adam Silver, and the rest of the owners, they actually made it a point around Golden State time when they had really good teams. They had Kevin Durant. So they made it a point that they want parity in the league. They don't want kind of dynasties or a team that would already win a championship and then you got the NBA reigning MVP and then it's almost impossible to beat you. Across. Well, can you hear me? I'm missing.
Yeah,
you guys hear me?
We can hear you. You went blank, but we can hear you.
But your video gone.
My video's gone? Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, your video is gone.
It's all right.
That's okay.
So let me finish. So with the parity rules, and they have a lot of salary cap issues. It's going to be hard to go back to back. There's a lot of really good teams, and teams have superstars, and you're not able to stack superstars. But this is by design. The NBA wants parity. The NBA wants when the playoff starts, you don't know who's going to make it. And a good buddy of mine, I was watching the game Friday, and he said, you know what? I would not have guessed New York City would be 2-0 on poised to win the NBA championship if you asked me in October when the season started. And I think that's what makes the game fun to watch. And I think so to answer your question, I don't think back-to-backs are going to be things that happen too often anymore. There's too much talent across the board. But to OKC's point, I do want to lend off. Their second best player was hurt. So we do gotta give homage to the fact that they did everything without their second best player, Jalen Williams, who was struggling with a hamstring issue for a majority of the season. And then their guy that was supposed to match up with Wemby, Chet Holmgren, him not ready yet. So that's kind of what happened there. But that's my view.
But then you go back to certain teams. That's been
Rudy, Andre have to leave.
No, one more question. It's NBA. It's NBA.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
You see teams in
Can
the
you guys
bottom
see me again yet, though? Or
no, not yet. Not yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Teams like in the bottom of the barrel or the league, like Charlotte. Do you see a upcoming or what is missing there to get them up and going? And a team like Charlotte.
So a team like Charlotte, what happens? So again, NBA makes rules. They want all these sports leagues want their teams to be or leagues to be more to get better. So teams like Charlotte, they're helping them by changing the draft rules. But the draft this year is actually really, really solid. There's around 3 to 6 individuals that can come into a team this year and actually perform at a high level. And I know we said that we don't want to really say young and old, as you make it, you make it, but they're going to be able to jump in. There's AJ DeBansta, there's Cam Boozer, Carlos Boozer's son, there's Darren Peterson. So there's guys that are franchise changers in the draft. With that, some of these teams that have been riding the bottom, they're gonna get an influx of talent and be able to perform and maybe get to the playoffs. Just to mention, Charlotte did make the play-in this year and win a play-in game, and they have LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
So a lot of these teams get their young talent and then start stacking it. And as long as you hit on your draft picks, you should get better over time.
Over time. All right, thanks, man.
Andre, we appreciate it a whole lot. And sorry we lose your video a while ago. Though,
Oh man, I don't know what happens. I can still see my video. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's all right, one. But we're going to have you back again because it's not finished yet, right?
Okay,
It's just game 3. So we'll have you back again so that we can talk a little bit more and get
I'd love
into
to.
the last couple of games. I appreciate it a whole lot, man.
I'd love to. Thanks for having me. All right, talk soon.
All right, blessings. All right, so that was Andre basketball. So Virgin from the barbershop, I must big up all of the barbers at JB Barbers over there in Scarborough, and big up my brethren Ches the barber. So Ches, big up yourself. Thanks for making the connection for us, man. So hey, my brethren Angie John is online as well. Thank you very much for chiming in, Angie. Let me know what you think about the World Cup coming up, as George is still with us, and we're going to talk a little bit of football. I know George is a big, huge football man. For years, on top of years, and follow this thing many years. But Rudy, yesterday I have the opportunity of talking to a coach here in Canada in regards to his views on the whole World Cup this year, the World Cup coming to the CONCACAF region and things like that. So I wanted us to listen to him a little bit. I think it's about 10 minutes. I tried to make it a little shorter than that in regards to what he had to say. And his name is Preston Pearce. Played for Jamaica too. I tried to remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Because he played for the under 23s as well.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
You remember him, right?
Yeah,
George, I don't know if you remember him at all. Played for the under 23 national team as well in Jamaica.
No, the name don't.
The name don't ring a bell. Yeah, no. So I kind of catch up with him and got some views. So I'm going to play this little clip right here, and we'll listen, and then we'll go into some World Cup decisions. So remember, Sports Globe fans, tell us who your World Cup pick is. A good time to make a prediction now. We are going to be talking who we are going to be predicting. I'm sure we're going to get that from Georgie too, because I know him have some favorite teams. Don't know if his best team is going to make it. I don't know if my best team is going to make it. Rudy have a team too.
My team will make it. My team will make it.
Your team will make it. So let's hear what Preston Pearce had to say before we get into some discussion. Of course, we're going until 7 o'clock, guys. So jump in, leave us your comments, text in, wherever, so you can get us on our Sports Club YouTube channel, and you can also check out my personal Facebook page as well. So go out and check this out. Let us hear what Preston Pearce had to say. Of course, ex-Jamaica football as well. Like, now I hear Preston on.
No, we're not here.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see what's going on.
Youth football, anywhere from U6 all the way to U20, U under 21 academy players. Playing here, university in Canada and in the States as well. So a bit of a coaching background in grassroots and playing on the professional side. All
right, so we're here to talk about World Cup, FIFA World Cup 2026 that is here, being held in 3 countries in CONCACAF. Of course, we are responsible for it this side of the world. But what's your best World Cup moment or mascot or song? What is it that you remember fondly about the World Cup that you can say, hey, this was the time that I really, really, really loved?
I think it was probably '94, the USA World Cup.
Okay.
I was 10, so it was I have a good memory of it, and I remember watching along and following along. So that whole tournament was a big one for me, from Nigeria's run in that tournament to obviously Baggio infamously missing the penalty at the end. Yeah. So I mean, those things, as a seeing that as a little kid, the first time really, watching a World Cup from beginning to end and really being, engrossed in it. That was a big memory for me.
That was a big memory for you, Roberto Baggio missing that penalty. Denying Italy. All, I just spoke about that. I just had a chance to go back and look up at some of the leading countries who have won the World Cup. Of course, Brazil would have won it 5 times, and I just wanted to look back at the years that they have won it, just to catch us all up in terms of the time that they have won it, and those 5 years that they have won it. I had it here and I brought it up a little bit. So let me just go back to that a little bit. And just bring it up here. But they have won it 5 times. Germany, Argentina 3 times. Germany 4 times with Italy. They have won it 4 times. Argentina 3 times. France 2 times along with Uruguay. England 1, Spain 1. So those are the winners of the World Cup. But I just want to bring up the years that they have won the World Cup. Just trying to get back to my notes here. How you feel about the Brazil team this time around?
Yeah, I think Brazil's always an interesting team. It's which Brazil is going to show up. Are they going to be free flowing and kind of play their own exciting brand of football, or are they going to be appear a bit kind of tied down and forced to play into a bit of a system that maybe doesn't always suit the way we think of Brazil when we think of Brazil. So for me, I like to see kind of the more free flowing and expansive Brazil team play and get to watch the creative players be creative and do their thing. So hopefully we get to see a lot of that this tournament.
Your overall feeling of this particular World Cup in terms of the whole build up, it being held in this part of the world between 3 countries, how you feel about that?
I think this is going to be a very interesting tournament. It's not only is it over 3 countries, but it's 3 large countries as well. And we typically don't see that with a World Cup. We typically see it hosted by countries that are smaller geographically, less travel for the players. When you factor in the fact that these players have been playing a lot of football. Last summer, they played the Club World Cup. Before that, players would have had the European Championships and the like. So it's been a lot of football the last 3 years. And I think this tournament's going to, and then when you factor in the travel and all those extra bits, I think this tournament's really going to come down to the squads that have the most depth, can rotate players and kind of withstand injuries. Because unfortunately, I think, injuries and the heat and all those things are going to play a big factor in this World Cup. And it's going to come down to squad depth, I think, more than anything else.
None of the Caribbean teams, how you feel about that? Jamaica didn't make it, Trinidad didn't make it. How you feel overall was your feeling about it?
I think it just calls for, or shows the need for more structure in the game. I don't think it's down to the talent pool. If you look at the players that we have and kind of go down down the list man for man, the quality of the player is there in those, the English speaking Caribbean countries, particularly look at, the Jamaican side that didn't qualify, had a lot of talent, a lot of individual skill. I think it comes down to kind of the organization, the structure of the national setups in these countries to make sure that players are put in a position where they can be successful. Because I think that's what's come back to bite some of these confederations.
Yeah, but did you think Jamaica could make it anyway?
I think Jamaica could have. I think there was a clear path for qualification, at home. We sat down that night and saw 2 posts and a crossbar hit in the 90 minutes.
Yes.
You look at the matches before that where draws where we should have picked up victories. You can look at the manager and say it's down to squad selection. You can look at the team and say it's down to the style of play. Qualifying through beating Congo, I think would have been far more challenging. But we had a direct route to qualify. I think that would have been much easier, and that was really the chance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Confederation dropped the ball on that.
The US and Canada, how do you think both teams will fare for this particular World Cup?
I think the US will fare well. I think the Canadians have the chance to fare well. I think it really depends on, again, how the squad shows up. Definitely Canada has the talent to advance out of the group stages, and I think if we advance out of the group stages and qualify for the knockout rounds there, that's a decent result, one to be proud of, I think.
So you're expecting them to get to the round of 32?
I think, with the talent they have playing at home, a big name manager in Pochettino, I think at the very least, advancing out of the group stage, if not a decent little run in the knockout stage, should be expected from the US.
Top 4 teams that you think is going to make it through to that quarterfinal round. What's your 4 teams that you think is going to get there?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. We always have our favorites that we like to pick, like we called the Brazils, the France, the Germanys, the Englands, the squads with kind of the big name players, that we know and love and we watch on TV every weekend. I think the Americans will be there, again, playing on home soil. There's always, the home soil team or a combination of that it manages to make a pretty decent run through the tournament. I expect the French to be there again, very deep squad, experienced players. I expect them to be there. England, off the strong showing in the Euros, I expect them to be there as well. And I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 dark horses that, maybe we didn't see in the early on in the tournament. We didn't expect to make a lot of noise that will pop up and make a good run that will get us all excited.
This is a bit of a news, though. You're feeling in regards to tickets, in regards to fans supporting this World Cup, because there's quite a bit in the news even today. Tickets are not, selling as we might normally used to. There's quite a bit of a seat. There's discussion in regards to the cost of tickets. I mean, the US having their situations going on as well and that kind of thing. How are you seeing that bit of a news item coming out in terms of people attending this World Cup?
Yeah, I think, again, it's to be expected to a certain degree. There's a huge difference in pricing, tickets to this World Cup and even the most recent World Cup. Again, the distance that folks have to travel, it's not necessarily one where you can, jump on a train and go to a game in another city or another region quite easily. So I think the challenges of travel between matches, I think, maybe reluctance of folks wanting to travel to the US or being able to travel to the US is going to be a big piece as well. And the price, I think a lot of the fans that would typically, want to be there have been priced out of the stadiums. And I think that's hurt them in terms of this tournament.
Do you think it was a bad idea to be having it across three large countries?
Yeah, I think that's the key piece. Across 3 large countries, it is challenging logistically to make it look and feel like a lot of the World Cups that we've seen before that were quite successful. So yeah, I think that's going to be a big challenge, not only for supporters, but I think, we're going to hear after from players as well that the 3 large countries and the travel that's necessary is a difficult one. Like you look at the Iranian team and what they're going to have to deal with in order to be able to participate.
But in terms of Toronto, how are you feeling seeing the World Cup being held in Toronto and in Canada, Vancouver as well? How do you feel it coming here?
I think it's great. I have an 11-year-old son, so I get to see him and his friends that he plays with, and they're all excited about it. The different installations that they have throughout the city, the different football cages that they've built and that they've put up in recent weeks as well. So all these things are going to help grow the game here in Canada and produce more Canadian footballers. So it's definite huge upside. Hopefully it creates another generation of talented players that fall in love with football and move through the system. And in 10, 15 years, we have another solid team out on the pitch that can, push on further.
So I think it will help the youngster. But in terms of the excitement, are you seeing the excitement within the city?
Yeah, I mean, again, bearing in mind that, Canada really isn't a footballing nation when you really look at the interest maybe of the nation as a whole and you compare that to some traditional footballing countries. So I think that's to be expected to a certain degree. I think probably as we see we get closer to the tournament, as more matches are played, and there's a bit more, the energy will then reflect that. But I think it's kind of as expected in a country that's not a traditional footballing nation.
Yeah. Before we finish, I want to get your top 2 teams and who you think is going to win the tournament.
I picking with my heart and the countries that I like to see play and like to entertain. Hopefully Brazil or France. But for me, I'm really just looking forward to seeing entertaining matches and a good solid month of exciting football and just being able to really pass that on to, like I said, pass it on to my son and get him to be able to watch it and enjoy it. I think it's going to be a big thing.
So your winner?
My winner. I'm gonna go with France.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, coach.
All right, wait. I forgot about the technology. Yeah, man. So I was saying, Sports Glove fans, thanks so much for checking that out. There's a little chat I had with Andre. I wanted to have him on live, but he had family commitments that he had to do. So I did something with him yesterday, just to play it back to get, a Canadian perspective into it as we discuss. As I say, we're going to be wrapping up at 7 o'clock. So do remember to send your comments in as well. And we still have with us Rudy and we still have George with us as well. George, I want to start off with you. Your big thoughts on this year's World Cup. What's your thoughts? The fact that it is here in CONCACAF.
Well, it's good that it's here in CONCACAF. What it will do, it will enhance the American game, because the American game has been growing steadily, and this will definitely boost that base, because I have seen a lot of youths now wanting to play football in America and playing football. If you go to the soccer fields throughout New York, Bronx, Brooklyn, you see them playing soccer, and that is a good thing. And I feel this World Cup coming will enhance that.
Yeah. Rudy, what's your thoughts on the World Cup being here in CONCACAF?
No, I think it's a boost. It's a boost for the game here in Canada. Football certainly in Canada is becoming bigger than hockey. Hockey have a bigger name, but in terms of seeing the youths playing in the sport, we're seeing that soccer, as we call it, is bigger. It's a bigger sport in terms of numbers than hockey. So definitely we'll see that'll boost the CONCACAF. It boosts we in the Caribbean, the Caribbean countries to hopefully invest more and to show that they can be on the next World Cup. Not only one team, but maybe 2 teams, maybe 3 teams. But I think it's good, and I think it's also a plus for all 3 countries getting a piece of the game, not just being one. Certainly, speaking for Mexico, what are you going to do for the country, for the football? Certainly, it would be good. It boosts their economics. It's definitely. So I think it's good for football in this region.
Yeah. So the thing is, then a bit of a news coming out of Toronto, out of Canada, is that not because the World Cup is here, why there's a boost in football in Canada, but what they have seen over the last 2 years or so is that there's a lot of interest in soccer in Canada, especially, and the government have started to put some money behind it as well. They're realizing that the youths are really driving it. So I think it has grown something like 20-30% based on what I've read in regards to Canada. So soccer fields are really popping up all over the place these days and that kind of thing. So, and the indoor centers are really, quite a bit have been under construction. So there's a big thing to it. But so let us get to a little bit of the ticket consideration and the ticket discussion. And I just want to get your quick views on this ticket cost and the whole thing in regards to the ticket. George, what's your thoughts on the whole thing about the tickets being expensive, or people should have just really suck it up and just know it's a one time in 4 years kind of a thing and just pay the money and go watch the games?
Well, I think FIFA overplay their hand in terms of pricing because the US, Canada is a big market. It's a big marketplace, and I feel that they wanted to get maximum profit out of this market. And by doing that, they overplay the hand and overprice the tickets. And I feel that prices are going to go down as much as like $250. I think they're about $400 now from an high of some $1,000. So,
Yeah.
they overplay the hand. That is what I'm saying.
As a matter of fact, George, today's report in Canada says that ticket that was at $400 is now at something like $160. Today, just before we started the thing, tickets had been going down because there's still a number of a whole heap of seats that is not sold, and these are preliminary games, and you expect that when it gets to the 32 and the 16 and the 8 plus the finals, the prices are going to be astronomical. I'd already hear about some crazy prices. So, but yeah, I'd support you, George. Them overplay them and in the thing, man. Them thinking because it comes to North America, so them should have just hike up the price. But with gas going up, food price going up, all kind of things, trade war, all kind of things, people under pressure, and to put the prices them at $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 was just crazy, out of this world. You, Rudy?
No, most definitely, and I think they overplay their hand because they believe when we speak about we've seen the rise in soccer in this part of the world. It's in the youths. It is not in the adults.
Yeah.
The rise in it is in the youths, and parents wouldn't pay that type of money for them to go watch a game. I said to you before, it's easier for somebody to go buy a big screen TV from Best Buy, buy a 150-inch TV, and just watch it from home and have some people come over. And I think that's what most people will do. Most people just have their own watch party in their house. Even though the bars will be opening early and closing late, people will just watch it in their house.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it is. But I think the ticket prices, I'm not a fan of live football. Especially when it comes to the World Cup, because I grew up watching it on TV. So it comes to live now. You feel like, I just accustomed watching it on TV, and that's what I like, live it just be, I like to enjoy it. Just the whole crowd and stuff is not me. It's not my thing, So certainly, but the ticket price is ridiculous. It's not what they say they was going to do, and I think they're realizing it now, and it's going to hurt them. And it's not, like I said, it's just the first round. It's not even anything, and it's not no big set of matches. Yes, Canada is here, but it's not no big countries that we know, not the France, neither the USA, and not no big name that we know that can do something that is here that can draw the people to say, yes, I want to buy a ticket. Like if you had the Brazil here, probably would have sold out. People would have bought it. If Italy was in and Italy was here, it probably would have sold out. So we don't have that type of teams here that join the fans to say, yes, in spite of the price, I'm going to go watch it. I don't think we have.
All right, so here what happened now. Let's look at some group games, Georgie. As we have a little bit of time, and I wanted to kind of go through the group schedule as the matches are going to be kicking off pretty soon. So it's fever pitch now in Toronto, especially, and that kind of a thing. I hear a whole lot of people talking about it. So hey, listen. So Group A is Mexico, South Africa, Korea Republic. George, you can tell me who you think are the two teams going to come out of this group, or if it's only one going to come out of this group. And of course, guys, so this is what it is. So it's going to be 48 teams competing for this one big golden trophy that everybody so want to put them hands on and take back to their country, right? And as you know, it is the 24th staging of the World Cup so far. Has been around for like 99 years. I think the next World Cup is going to be the 100th year of the World Cup or more, somewhere, something like that, right? So it has been going on for a long time. So it is the 24th season. Brazil is the winningest team, winning 5 World Cup. And there are some other teams, I'm going to say if I'm getting it right. Yeah, Argentina, Germany winning 4, Italy winning 4, Argentina winning 3, France 2-time. Uruguay was one of the earlier winners of the World Cup. If not, maybe them was the first winner of the World Cup, if I can remember. England winning it once, surprisingly, though, the way our English football big. And Spain winning it once, quite recently. So it started 1930, 96 years. As I said, I think it's Yeah, I think that they're going to be celebrating 100 years the next World Cup, right? So this is the 23rd staging of it. So, George, I want to get down into the group stages, and you can tell me who are the teams that you think might be coming out of this group. So let's start with Group A with Mexico, South Africa, Korea Republic, the Republic of Korea, and is this the Czech team as well?
Czech.
Who do you think coming out of that?
All right, the two teams coming out of that zone is going to be Mexico and Czechoslovakia.
Yeah. Give me a quick reason why you think the Mexicans will make it and the Czechs will make it.
Mexico have been consistent in terms of how they progress in World Cup finals. They normally progress beyond the first round and very hard in the last 16.
And
In terms of Czech, Czech, we have not seen Czech for a couple of years, no?
Yeah.
A couple of World Cup, no? But
Yeah.
in terms of the foundation of the Czech football, it really have a solid foundation. And seeing that they are here, I'm expecting good from them.
I mean, Jamaica get a 1-1 draw in Mexico with even though they tried to steal it from Jamaica in a practice game. So I mean South Africa get a 1-1 draw with Jamaica. So I don't know. The coach is saying that boy, them have to look at see what's going on because the Jamaica team who's not going to the World Cup drawing with them. Hey, it's practice game, but it's still a reflection of how prepared the team is based on the fact. Let's look at Group B, Georgie. Rudy, you're not following the group so much, right? So I'm going to just run through it with George and
No, I'm following it now. I'm Mexico and Korea for me.
Yeah, Mexico and Korea. Yeah, George. So give me here for Group B, Canada. Who is this? Bosnia and Qatar and Switzerland. Who you think? Do you think the Canadians going to make it?
No, it's tentative. I'm going to give Uruguay and Paraguay. Bosnia may tilt the group, maybe an upset in the group, but I'm going with US and Paraguay.
Yeah,
remember we are the wrong. No, we are in Group B.
Group B.
Group B.
Yeah, with Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada and Bosnia.
Canada and Bosnia.
Canada and Sweden. Canada and Sweden.
You have Canada and Switzerland.
Switzerland, yeah.
Okay. Group C, the big team, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. Georgie?
Brazil and Scotland.
Brazil and Scotland.
Brazil and Morocco.
Brazil and Morocco. You know, give the Moroccans a chance?
Brazil and Morocco.
And Rudy have Brazil and Morocco. All right.
Morocco
Rudy,
come fourth.
Listen. Hope you keep notes in a Rudy.
Morocco come fourth in the last World Cup.
Yeah.
So
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. It's a very good
Morocco come fourth in the last World Cup. But it's a different year, it's a different thing, a whole bunch of things. So yeah.
But George, you think the Scottish will definitely get
will
better?
Definitely be in there, yeah.
Yeah,
all
I think
right,
they'll play some better football this year.
They'll play some better football. Georgie, Group D, US, Paraguay, Australia, Turkey.
It's going to be US, Paraguay carrying in that group.
US, Paraguay. The Australians now have a chance.
No, I think the Australian reached this level yet.
Not yet. Rudy.
USA, Australia.
USA, Australia. Is this George? Is this Australia's second or third World Cup?
I think it's that.
Not sure, no.
Yeah,
third.
I think it's about the second or third World Cup for
second
themselves.
or third,
they're kind of growing into the thing though. Group E, Germany. Talk about Caribbean and we losing Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador, George.
That's going to be go again.
Germany.
Curacao,
Germany, yeah.
Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador.
No, Cote d'Ivoire and Germany.
Cote d'Ivoire is what? Ivory Coast?
Yeah.
Cote d'Ivoire is Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast and Germany, yeah.
And Germany.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're just picking out for the 32 now, because after this is the 32 after the 48. So the Netherlands in Group F, the Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tanzania.
Netherlands and Sweden.
What about the Japanese, George?
They might be upset up, but in terms of tradition,
yeah.
Unless they play some very, very good football. But in terms of tradition, I don't see them making it.
Rudy, you want to take a gamble upon the Japanese?
Yeah, man. Netherlands and Japan.
You want to take Japan?
Yeah, man. We don't joke with that. We don't joke with the little Japanese in them. We don't play with them.
Hey, but
And-
don't play
and
with,
I would say-
Tanzania, you know.
But this is what I'm saying. I'm saying this because, like I said, I watch how those countries invest.
Yeah.
They really invest in the sports.
In
I
the
know.
sport.
And when a country invests in the sport, they don't just invest for joke. And in those countries, they take it seriously.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Japan could have a chance to move on. But then Netherlands for sure, no question about
All right. Well, we are at Group G. Belgium, Egypt. This is a really tough group too. Belgium, Egypt, the Iran, where US are getting a lot of trouble, and New Zealand. George,
I'm going to go with Belgium and Egypt.
tradition, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rudy.
I go New Zealand and Belgium.
Oh, Rudy, one, come on, New Zealand.
Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, it's just seeing these guys in them play.
Rudy, I
the
choose some real
investment.
dark horse, you know. I can tell you that one. If you was a gambling man and any of them team and got you and have some big money, come no, the odds on them would be really big. So
That was what I'm telling you.
in group H, George, the Spanish boy, Cote Verde, they're a new team, the very first time in the World Cup, so must congratulate them to get in here as well. Them and Curacao get into the World Cup this year. Of course, the CONCACAF region got what, six chances or 6 teams can come from the CONCACAF this time around, so it's good. Saudi Arabia, George, Uruguay.
It's going to be Spain and Uruguay.
Spain and Uruguay. Those are the tradition. Rudy?
Yeah, man, you're right.
So yeah, go with the tradition.
Yeah, man, the same, man. Spain and Uruguay. Yeah,
Hey, well, see, the big time, I think they are the favorite for the World Cup. So in group I, France, Senegal, Iraq, Norway, George?
That is going to be France and Senegal.
France and Senegal, Rudy?
Yeah, man. George finally feeling me.
No place for Norway. Hey, listen, Norway.
Nah, man, Norway place for no Norway. Senegal.
Norway is a tradition to innocent. George,
Listen to me. This is,
Norway has been to more World Cup than Senegal. So
remember, I called 3 African nations. This is 3 African nations. All right.
That's the sentiment.
Senegal is budding right now. It's a budding
budding
team.
right.
I'm telling you, man.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Big team.
Support they have.
Group J, Georgia, I think this is where your team start to step in. Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. And Jordan is a new team to the World Cup as well. So make big them up and congratulating them for reaching here. Georgia.
I think Argentina, Austria.
And Austria. Nothing for Algeria. You know Algeria has been to the World Cup a couple of times, many times.
No, yeah, those are kind of some dark horses that can, upset the cart. But in terms of tradition, no.
No. Rudy?
A second place is a very hard one. So I it's a guess for me. Because in that pool, second place doesn't really matter to me. And the first place matter to me.
Yes, one of the sentiments, man.
Yeah, but I will go with Algeria. I am certainly I'll go with Algeria. Yeah.
I'll go with Algeria.
Argentina.
Algeria. All right, cool. Well, here's another big one for one of the biggest footballers around the world, right? Portugal.
That's where Jamaica should have been. That's where Jamaica should have been.
Exactly. Well, there's 2 spots that Jamaica should have been, right? Yeah, because them should have been in Group E, or them should have been in this group in Group K. Well, so Portugal, Congo, DR Congo, Uzbekistan, must congratulate 2 of these teams here are new teams as well, and Colombia. George?
Portugal, Colombia.
Yeah, man,
Portugal,
that's it. We lock it in.
Yeah. Now go with none of the new jacks them.
Nah, man.
And final group staging, the England's with the English Premier League, are the biggest football league around the world. Croatia, where Jamaica get what? Jamaica did they play Croatia in them first World Cup, which one of those teams that Jamaica did play up against, and they continue to come to the World Cup since then, and Jamaica had failed every time from then on. Ghana and Panama. This one is a tough one for sure, George.
Yeah, that one is a tough one. It could be England, Croatia, and Ghana.
Yeah.
So it could be Ghana, England, or England, Croatia.
Yeah, but Panama definitely now have no chance.
No, Panama not going to reach that.
And them could have left out.
So upset. That is a
unless
upset.
them upset. And then the whole thing with all them selection of the English team controversy will go right, you know, them Croatian and them Ghanaians them can bounce out England. So England definitely is a real tough group, that, especially for England at this time. So, you know, yeah. Okay. All right, so we have it right there. So
well, to me, Richie, this is the pull of that for me.
That one.
This is
and
the
what
pull
are
of
your
that.
two? I forget to ask you, Rudy. And what's your two?
This one is hard for me. This one is a hard one. This is the pull of that. But I like the three teams, so it's a hard choice for me. But one of those three teams will make it through. Croatia, Ghana, or England. But I really think that's the pull of that. Somebody will be going home crying.
I think so. England now make it for me. That's how I have it so far.
I think somebody that would be the upset of the World Cup, the first round. No, I think. Listen, from day one, when this pool came out, I said that this is the pull of that. Even though the Panama is there, not really Panama. It's just the other three countries. I think that's the pull of that for me.
All right, so I want to look at two games, and it's because it's in our region and it's CONCACAF region games, George and Rudy. I just want to get your quick take on it. So Canada is going to be playing Bosnia, right? And then the US is going to be playing Paraguay. So I want to kind of get what you think the results are going to be for the Canadian-Bosnia game, George. What do you think? You think Canada going to win by 1 goal, 2 goal? How you feel? They're having problems in terms of injuries. Two of their major stars are being out right now. I don't know if Alphonso Davies is going to make it at all. So, what do you think? Bosnia, new team.
But I think Bosnia are going to win 2-1.
Over the Canadian.
Yeah.
All right, Rudy.
Canada will win 3-0.
Canada are going to win 3-0.
Yeah.
Man, speak as a Canadian, you know.
Well, in spite of injury or not, they're not going to lose against that team at home. They're not going to do it. In spite of the injuries.
I think Canada going to beat Bosnia by 1 goal, though. I don't think it's going to be more than that.
It'll be more than that.
I think the Canadians really shuffling right now in terms of their
team. But it's a defense situation, not offense. The offense is still strong, but
Alphonso Davies playing a defensive kind of a role, Rudy. So you know,
it's all right. They'll be all right. They'll be all right.
Back there. Yeah.
That's remember I said in the beginning, Richie. No rookie in this, you know. Everybody's on the same level, so you have to step up. You understand, man? Yeah.
Yeah, George. So we're looking at the US up against the Paraguayan team.
I think we're going to get a first draw, and I think we're going to get a 1-1 draw with that game.
This look like a even things. Them rough Paraguayan guys, they're not playing.
Yeah, the Paraguayan guys, them rough. But I think the US, they look good. I see them in the last match against, who they play against? They draw what? 2-1 they got.
Yeah.
Germany. They played Germany and got 2-1, but they played very well. One of the best games I see that they play for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think they will be able to match the Paraguayans, because the Paraguayans, they are normally strong in midfield and defense.
Yeah.
And I believe they will be able to match them. So I'll get a draw from that, man.
All right, cool. So the Canadian game up against Bosnia is going to be on June 12th at 3 p.m. Right? And of course the US match, and these are their first matches for the CONCACAF region. I mean, next time we can talk about that. The US game is going to be at 9 p.m. So we can all stay tuned and watch those games. I think the first match of the championship is going to be, of the World Cup, is going to be South Korea up against the Czechs, which is on the 11th, Thursday the 11th at 10 p.m. So good games to watch. And some other first games to even notable is going to be the Moroccans up against the Brazilian. We're definitely going to see how the Brazilians are going to be looking. George, anything that you want to say about the Brazil team?
I believe the Brazil team, they don't give me that spark. I don't believe they have that spark as yet. But their coach is very technical, and he will get them there. But I just don't see them sparking in terms of getting in the getting to the final.
Yeah.
I don't believe they'll be able to get to the final.
All right. So, hey, listen, we promised that we'll finish at 7. We're a little bit over the 7 o'clock finish line. Rudy, I know that you got to go. George, I want to tell you that I appreciate you and all of our Sports Globe fans out there.
Yes,
listen.
George. Thank you, man. Thank you, George. Thank you, George.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. You guys are welcome, man, and very interactive. Very good, you know.
Thank you so much, Georgie. Rudy, I appreciate you staying even over the time. Blessings. And, you know, Andre that was on earlier, Preston that did his interview earlier, thanks so much. And to all of our Sports Globe and YouTube fans out there, thank you so much for joining in. I know we might not see you, but I know you're watching. I appreciate it a whole lot. And for next time again, look out for us. And remember, it is our game. It is our culture. And of course, we live in this global world. So thanks so much again. And that's it for us today from Sports Globe. Remember, France are win the World Cup for me. I don't know about everybody else, but that's it. All right, George. Blessings.
Blessings, my brother. Take care.
All right, cool.